What's up, guys? Today I want to talk about what's happening with SPY, Tesla, and the broader markets. I'm going to break down what President Trump just said about his trade policies and how this is helping the market push so far. Just know that I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I'm saying as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out my Mumu link that's down below or sign up with my QR code that's right over here. Mumu is an awesome global brokerage that consists of many exclusive offers. If you sign up and deposit $100, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. Deposit $2,000, you're guaranteed 25 in total. Deposit $5,000, you're guaranteed 60 free stocks. You also qualify for an 8.1% APY on uninvested cash, and the offer ends at the end of July in just 2 weeks from now. Another benefit of signing up is that you're going to gain access to many different news platforms that could really benefit your guys' trading journeys. This includes the Wall Street Journal, Barron's, Bloomberg, and many other sources to understand what's happening in real time. So check out my link down below to get all these benefits or sign up with this QR code that's right over here. Anyways, now let's talk about what's happening with the stock market. So as far as the market's going right now, as you guys could tell, we're looking quite bullish. SPY is testing the all-time high at this 627 area, but I marked this line right over here. I know it's a little hard to see, but basically, as SPY hits 627, we do have a history of rejecting. And as we get close to 620, we do like to bounce off that level. So we're still technically in a range like this. We're still kind of going back and forth between supply and demand. And now SPY is going to be testing this resistance to see if we get rejected or if we just break through it. If we break this, we could continue this push and make new all-time highs on SPY. Despite the fact that SPY is testing all-time highs, the QQQ is breaking all-time highs, and we're going to be approaching 562. If that breaks, we could continue to push for 564. Right now, we're looking quite bullish. So what's going on with the news? Let's break down the news in some detail, then I'll talk about the charts. I first want to mention that right now, there's nothing too significant coming out in terms of data. All the data is out when it comes to the Philly Fed and our jobs numbers. We have a couple of Fed speakers from Kugler who gave a speech, and then we also had Cook. So that's pretty much it for now. There's nothing else that's too significant. However, when it comes to President Trump has been saying that he's sending out letters to 150 different countries out there, and he has plans for about 10 to 15% tariffs on them. That's very important because these tariffs could once again incentivize them to make deals, and he has been talking about that for a while. President Trump also said that we're very close to announcing a Vietnamese trade deal. Excuse me, guys. If we get a deal with Vietnam, that's going to be very, very big news. And if he ends up announcing that very soon, that's going to be pretty big. President Trump is hinting that there's going to be around a 20% tariff that could be imposed. And he said the deal is pretty much just like well set and it's going to be announced soon. That's what President Trump has said so far. We're waiting to see once this is officially announced. He also said that India is very close and that there's going to be a very, very big trade deal with India. President Trump is saying that the deal is very close and that's going to be announced very soon. They want to get this announced before the August 1st deadline. So that's going to likely happen very soon. Within a week or two, we should be getting another big announcement involving that. So this is a summary of the tariffs so far, not including the 150 different countries that just got letters. But as of right now, you have Indonesia that has like a 19% tariff. You could also see the deficits right over here between the different countries, the US and these countries. And you guys can see this is what the different countries are subjected to so far. You have the EU subjected to a 30% tariff unless we get a new deal. Vietnam might be 20% unless we see more details from the deal. And many of these others have, these rates that we're looking at least so far. One of the highest ones is Brazil. We're going to be watching to see how this ends up affecting them. Brazil is going to be once again negotiating with the US to get a lower rates, most likely, and we're going to see how that goes for them. So that's what we're seeing so far. As a result of all of this, we're watching to see if SPY can break all-time highs. We're looking very bullish right now, but there is a tough resistance here. Can we break this 627 to 628 area to push for 630, or do we get back below 625? If we're below 625, we're going to be favoring a move back down to like 622. So let's see if SPY can break the all-time high. It's going to be a big test here. I do see us shuffling for some time, but there is potential to break out even more if we continue to hold up very, very nicely, and there is potential at least nonetheless. In terms of the QQQ, we're looking more bullish, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. And we're continuing to break out. As long as we don't lose like 556 to jump to 552, we're favoring 562, then eventually 564 is our targets. So far, there's no sign of it stopping. We're still looking strong, although 562 is a tough resistance. We're likely going to continue to break all-time highs. Once again, the QQQ is looking quite bullish. So I think we're doing a great job so far, so keep that in mind. For the IWM, we're also range bound right here. We have this resistance around 225 and support at this 218 area. I want to see if this could break past 224 and then 225 to break these highs, or if we're about to get a rejection. If we lose 220, it's going to be more bearish. If we break 225, we're more bullish. Otherwise, we're just range bound on the IWM. For ES, it's the same setup as SPY. Essentially, this is what's kind of like leading the way. Notice that as we hit 63.30, we tend to reject. And as we hit 62.50, we like to bounce. So we're just doing this, right? We're just going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Now we're testing resistance at 63.30. Can we break this and break out more? Do we get a rejection? Make sure you're very careful at this resistance. And hopefully we see ES try to break this. For now, we're kind of like shuffling up here. So we're going to see if we kind of shuffle and reject, or if we break out. Make sure you watch that very closely. NQ is looking more bullish or making higher highs and higher lows. This is also leading the QQQ. If we lose 23,100, we could be dipping to about 23,000 flat. But if we continue to hold above 23,250, we could continue to break out. Once again, making you all-time highs and testing 23,300, then getting closer to 23,500. Bitcoin has a head and shoulders like pattern. If we lose 116,000, we're looking for a dump. But if we break 120,000, we're bullish. I see us consolidating and maybe slowing down as time goes on. But it's not really much. We're just consolidating on Bitcoin. Tesla is stuck between 320 support and 325 as resistance, going back and forth. If we lose 315 to 313, we could dump more, but for now, we're on an uptrend. So Tesla's basically doing this, making higher highs and higher lows. Even if we do come down to 315, we could still bounce. So nonetheless, I see us trying to bounce very, very soon. We're still bullish as long as we're in this channel. As long as 313 does not break, Tesla's still looking bullish, and it could continue to consolidate and break out later once it gets above 325. Nvidia is looking more bullish. We're favoring through 175 plus. We're seeing a lot of buyers defending. As long as we don't lose 169, we're looking quite good. For just a couple more, we have Apple looking bullish. I want to see if we could break 212 to continue this trend upwards. For AMD, we're looking decent. As long as we don't end up losing like 155, we could be dipping a little bit towards 158, and we're going to see if we bounce off that. Coinbase is more bullish. We're on a very, very nice uptrend as long as we don't lose 400. This is going to likely consolidate and then slowly start pushing higher for like 405. Amazon is just consolidating between 222 and 224. So I do expect this to trade sideways before it tries to bounce. Meta has been on a downtrend. We're going to see if this could break past 700 or not. It might be dipping to 700. So we'll see if it holds or not. That's going to be our key support. Looking at Google, we're still holding up very, very well. We're looking quite bullish so far as well. So keep that in mind for Google as time goes on, as we're starting to see this thing trying to break past 184. So I see this consolidating, trying to break out for 184 to 185. It's still holding up very, very well. And then Microsoft could be looking for an attempt to push back up towards this 515 area, looking more bullish. The VIX is rejecting and may continue to fall as the market remains more bullish. So for now, the bulls have a bigger edge, and we're doing a great job at holding up. Can SPY break the all-time high? We're very close to it, but it's going to be a tough resistance, so we'll see. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thank you for listening, and peace out.